Hey everyone, it's Shubb. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to Nintendo Switch 2 stuff. I did react to the Direct live, but my recording corrupted, so I'm gonna kind of do like a initial analysis impression kind of thing about all the big things that I was really hyped about. We'll see how hyped I get going through this. You know I have to start with Mario Kart World though. Oh, that bluegrass theme. I'm telling you, when I heard this, my brain was freaking out. Like, what the hell is this? Coming off the rock jazz from the previous Mario Kart game. And then it all just slaps. Holy. So, the absolute biggest thing that I could take away from this is just the expressions on the characters. How much life and bounce everything has compared to Mario Kart 8. Also, these new tracks look pretty glorious. I'm recording this after the treehouse, so we know a lot more about the game. Also, wake racing? I mean, that's kind of crazy. Basically, you can really go anywhere you want. You can grind on rails like this. It seems like there's some kind of like ground trick you can do. I feel like Mario might have been doing it there as he was hopping between the walls. That seems to be the kind of replacement for the wheelie in Mario Kart Wii. Yeah, this game looks absolute fire. I cannot wait to play this. Now here comes the fun part. The game's $80. Which is, I thought, a little bit insane. It technically makes sense because of inflation, but still, that is a lot of money to swallow for one game. However, I don't think we've seen that much of this game, to be honest. And there's a whole ass direct about it, like, in 2 hours, so I gotta record this quick. And maybe that'll finally justify the price. I gotta say, the character roster of this game is absolutely insane. I mean, even from this screenshot, look, we have Nabbit, we have a Bitty Bug, we have the Bee from 3D World, the Sidestepper, the Penguin from Mario 64. I mean, this is a crazy roster already. Now, just imagine they pull and everyone is here, and every single character from every past Mario Kart is in this. Dude, seeing Rob in 4K is gonna... Oh, if that happens, I am going to scream. Also, this picture goes so hard. Holy crap. And it seems like this free roam thing is a little bit more advanced than I thought it was. I figured it was just a thing where you could like drive around off-road and all that, and that could be fun, but it seems like there's gonna be more objectives to it in some way. Of course, Nintendo's kind of hidden that from us, but maybe they'll explain it in this upcoming Direct. Who knows? Moving on. Honestly, the tech of this system looks crazy cool. So the bigger screen is pretty fire. I don't mind the Switch's screen, but I guess having a lesser bezel is gonna be nice.
The system's thickness remains the same.
That's the craziest part for me, is that they kept the thickness the exact same. I don't know how they did that. There's gotta be some kind of witchcraft there. What's crazy is the handheld screen is 1080p, yet this system can go to 4K, and it's 120 FPS. It's just insane that that's on a handheld though. Nintendo's really finally catching up with the times. And they have HDR. I mean, they are like up with the big dogs now. The upgraded storage is also going to be really nice, because 32 gigs on the original Switch, for some games it was fine, but for the bigger ones that got really cramped, 256 on the Switch is gonna be more than enough. Considering that Mario Kart World, which looks like it's an insanely big game, is only like 23 gigabytes, I think? This is gonna be fine. But of course, it still has the opportunity for expanded storage if you really wish. Plus, the Switch 2 is basically entirely backwards compatible with all the Switch 1 games, which is gonna be so nice. I definitely expected it, because that's usually the case with Nintendo whenever they make a sequel console or a sequel handheld. Like with the 3DS, you could play DS games on it. Yeah, I can't wait to get this console in my hands, man. So this is one of the more surprising things for me out of this Direct. I figured Nintendo would do game chat, because that was one of the biggest complaints with the Switch 1, is that you had to like use the online app for it. Just the tech that goes into this has to be insane. First of all, the UI of this looks exactly like Discord. I mean, you have the rectangles with all of your like character profiles, you have little tints in the background matching them, you have green outlines whenever they're speaking. It's exactly like Discord. Now here's the crazy part. The mic is right here. It's on the Switch, yet somehow it's able to pick up your sound from this far away with noise canceling. The hardware of the system is crazy. And of course there's screen sharing. It looks a little bit ass, but that's because Nintendo's trying to prioritize your gameplay over like seeing other people. And for it being on one system, it's definitely really impressive that they could show all this. Here's another great thing about this system. Check this out.
You can play together locally on multiple systems using just one game.
Yeah. So, this is crazy. Nintendo basically brought back DS download play. One copy of the game, yet multiple people can play it. And it's a local wireless thing, which is pretty fire, just like with the DS. It's so great for games like Clubhouse games, for instance, like the card games. You can't play those with one system because you'd just be cheating all the time. What's crazy to me is that you can game share with Switch 2s and original Switches. Okay, that's just a thing?
GameShare also supports online play with other Switch 2 systems.
This is insane. Man, you thought sharing a game locally was crazy? How about buying one copy of the game and sharing it with your friends online? This is like Xbox Game Share taken to another level. See, the Xbox has this thing where if you like have two people and you make each other's Xboxes your home Xbox, you guys get to like share all your purchases and stuff, which is kind of cool, but at the same time, it's only with two people. Here, you just have a game and you can be like, hey, guys, want to play some 3D World? And then you all just hop in. This is ridiculous. And honestly, this makes like the $80 price tag of Mario Kart World a lot easier to handle if it supports game share. You only have to buy it once. The three of your friends can all join in together. Boom, 20 bucks a guy. I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, it just seems like everything that Nintendo's doing for the Switch 2, they're trying to listen to all the feedback that everybody's told them over the years. Also, boom, new kickstand. That's nice. I know the OLED has a new kickstand. This is an even newer kickstand. Both are leagues better than the OG Switch. They're also doing this thing called Nintendo Switch 2 editions of games. Look at how pretty Samus looks. Oh my freaking god. I gotta be honest. I thought the Metroid Prime 4 footage shown in those directs was like secretly Switch 2 footage. No, that was captured on the OG Switch. How the hell did Retro Studios do that? Nintendo always cooks in the art style department. The thing that they always lacked behind on though was like the fidelity of their games, the resolution, the crispness. But now they have it. The Switch 2 runs at 4K 60 or 1080p 120. Just like the Xbox Series X. Now, I don't think the Switch 2 has the power of the Series X. That's a little crazy. But judging by like the third parties that have come to the Switch 2, it's gotta have at least the power of like the Series S. It's just so crazy seeing a Nintendo game at such a crisp resolution. But I mean, this is what they needed to keep up with the times. And you know what? I am loving it. I cannot wait to see Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom at this higher resolution. Just natively. That's gonna be crazy. I mean, Nintendo's always been pretty ambitious and innovative with their games, but now they can like really turn that up to 11 now that their system has the power to do basically whatever they want. When this stupid ass dog came on my screen, like, and did that shit? First of all, I knew this was coming the second I saw this dog. Oh my god, did I scream. Like, this is probably the only time when I like almost cried during the direct, except I didn't. But I mean, I was yelling for the mountains. This was, oh my god. I figured Deltarune was coming soon, right? But dropping this with the Switch 2's launch? Absolutely wild, just insane. I have to watch this trailer again. It was so freaking good. A lot of this is chapter 1, chapter 2. This is new. This is new. Guitar Hero. That's new. That's also new. And like usual, Toby Fox keeps us in the dark about what the chapters actually entail, which is good, so we can all be surprised whenever it comes out. But this coming out on Switch 2's launch day, that's wild. Thank you, Toby, for making incredible, incredible games. And this just drops out of nowhere. I don't think this was the loudest I was. This is probably the second loudest I was. I went like, whoa, what? Like, this is actually happening? People have been clamoring for Silk Song for years. And it's finally coming with the Switch 2, of course. 2025. They didn't say if this is like coming on launch. It'd be cool if it was, but I don't think it will. I'm so happy for you Hollow Knight fans. And then this drops out of nowhere, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S. I haven't even finished the Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 campaign. I don't know what they could even add to it, really. I don't know if I drop like $40 for an upgraded version of Puyo Puyo Tetris 2. If this is like a $10 upgrade, almost almost like a Switch 2 edition. Whatever, I'll do it. Now, this was an interesting game to drop during the sizzle reel. This game is a sequel to Fast RMX, which came out at the launch of Switch 2. Definitely one of the most graphically beautiful games on Switch 1, so of course it looks amazing here as well. And this is basically like a spiritual successor to F-Zero, so if you like that franchise, I guess recommend checking this out. Of course, Shadow Labyrinth is getting a Switch 2 edition. This is one of the games from the previous Direct that I was like kind of interested in, just because it's a super unique take on Pac-Man. And of course, Fortnite is getting a new version for Nintendo Switch 2. Thank God. Fortnite on Switch 1 is horrible right now. They've added so many new modes, so many graphical enhancements, the Switch just cannot keep up anymore. Now, here's what I'm really interested in. The Switch 2 has something called mouse controls. So this here is a game called Drag and Drive, and it uses the Switch 2's new mouse controls to control your character. Why do I bring this up? Not because the game looks that good. I mean, it looks alright, but you can see how it utilizes the motion controls. I don't know, if it has a lot of content, it might be fun, but it definitely seems like a one-off tech demo kind of deal. Like, it's basically Rocket League with wheelchairs. But what I'm really interested in is how those are gonna work with like FPS games and shooter games. Of course, Metroid Prime 4 has that, but like Fortnite with that could go crazy. Honestly, whenever that mouse control thing came up, the thing that popped into my mind first was playing Balatro with mouse controls. Basically the PC experience on Switch for no good reason. Now this here was one of the last announcements of the Direct, and it was honestly kind of crazy to me. At first my brain was going smash, 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 but then it was like, there's no way they would announce a new Smash this early. Remember how long it took to announce Smash in the Switch's life cycle? But they already revealed that they were updating a Kirby game, so maybe it was like a new Kirby game? Who knows? It turns out it's not either of those. Sakurai really did it. The man really brought back Kirby's Air Ride. Now, of course, this here is just a CGI trailer, not really showing too much, just announcing that the game is basically in development, right? Kirby Air Ride. Goated developer. And it comes out this year. Oh yeah, and Donkey Kong Bananza. That was like the other really big announcement at the end. First of all, doesn't this stupid little thing look like the guys from Purple Place? You know, that Windows 7 game from like 20 years ago? I honestly had no idea what this was. Like, looking through this trailer, no clue. Could have been a new Banjo game for all I knew. A very unique art style. And then here comes Donkey Kong in his new look. And boom, here we are. The first new 3D Donkey Kong game in like 25 years. To me, yeah, it definitely looks like it's made by the Odyssey team. Of course, we have more physics-based stuff. Nintendo seems to have really loved that recently. They went crazy with Tears of the Kingdom on Switch. I'm surprised it could even handle that. Oh, that's gotta feel so much better on Switch too. Yeah, this game looks pretty fun. Now, is this going to be a must-buy for me like Mario Kart World and Metroid Prime 4? I'm not so sure. I'm probably already going to spend a lot of time playing those games, but this will probably be like one of the earlier purchases for me on the Switch too. That's crazy, just dropping Ooh Banana randomly. And the title drop, Donkey Kong Bananza. Y'all, GG's Nintendo, you guys made an amazing Direct. I think I pretty much covered everything that I wanted to. Yeah, the game selection, the launch, looks crazy for the system. We have a bunch of first-party titles coming out. We have a bunch of third-party titles coming out, including Deltarune, that's huge. We have all of the Switch 1 lineup coming around, with some of the more popular ones getting enhanced versions, like Breath of the Wild, game chat built into the system, the game share feature, which, again, that might be one of the most hyped things of this whole Switch 2. Honestly, the price of the system is perfectly fine for me. Oh yeah, how could I forget? GameCube games are coming to Nintendo Switch Online. Dropping this system in the summer is a perfect move. All of the kids are gonna be out of school. This is the time when a bunch of people like to veg out a little bit. Like, I have way less going on in the summer than I do in the fall and spring, for instance. Absolute perfect time to drop a console. The price of the console is fine, like $450. Considering it's $50 less than like the Series X and it has like that kind of power with all of the different hardware capabilities of the system, that is definitely worth it for me. The games, on the other hand, luckily it doesn't seem like every single game is going to be $80 and Nintendo is going to vary the pricing of their stuff, right? Like most publishers. And again, it definitely is a little bit easier to swallow whenever you realize that game share is a thing and not everybody in your social circle needs to like buy a game to play it. And again, maybe this Direct that happens in like an hour is going to quell all of those worries about the price. Maybe it's gonna be like, oh shit, This is like double the content of a normal Mario Kart game. Of course it's gonna be worth $80. I know this is probably shorter than my normal content, and I'm sorry I didn't get the actual reaction to you guys, but I mean, there's nothing I could really do about it. The footage corrupted on my end. It sucks, but whatever. As always, stay positive, have confidence, utilize your passion, believe in yourself, and be yourself. See ya!